Hi everyone, my name is Kinsey Harlan, and today we will be discussing the organizational structure of USD 383 Manhattan-Ogden School District, where I work as a substitute teacher in the district. And because I'm a district-wide substitute teacher and I don't work specifically in one building, we will be discussing the district as a whole and the structure kind of in a high level. And to me, this has been really interesting to learn about because I attended a very small school district in elementary, junior high, and high school, one of the smallest in Kansas. So being able to work and learn more in depth about one of the largest school districts in Kansas has been really interesting to me. USD 383 had 6,290 students enrolled across all schools in 2021. So it's pretty big. Let's go ahead and get started. Looking at the organizational structure of the district, I've determined that it most closely aligns with the functional organizational structure because it does follow a hierarchy top-down format, but each department is managed separately and organized by specific skills and functions. I spoke with the district board clerk's assistant to receive some information about my organizational flowchart, and that was really interesting and enlightening to be able to get that information to put together my flowchart, which we'll look at next. So starting at the top, there's the Board of Education, followed by the superintendent. And then you can see that the superintendent oversees 7 different positions, being the assistant superintendent, the principals of the schools, the director of technology, the Director of Communications and School Safety, and the Executive Assistant, Executive Director of Special Services, and the Executive Director of Teaching and Learning. Because there are so many positions in the district, I couldn't fit it all on one slide, so what we'll be doing is looking at 7 separate slides that follow these 7 management positions. First being the Assistant Superintendent. So I've kind of shown you how it follows a hierarchy. I'm not going to read over all of these, but I do want to point out some of the titles that might be confusing or something that you don't have in your school district because I had to do some research on them because I wasn't familiar with them. First of all, there's the owner's representative, and basically they manage and oversee construction projects in the district. So I substituted in one of the early learning center buildings this school year that was actually housing both of the early learning centers in the district because one of the centers was under construction. So the owner's representative would be managing that construction project. The assistant superintendent also oversees all of the custodial staff, transportation. The district has their own bus mechanics, which I found interesting. The HR, food service, and then all of the accountants that are housed in the school board. Then there are the principals of all the district schools. They have assistant principals, teachers, aides, and office staff. And you can see I have lines connecting the assistant principals, and the principals oversee the teachers. Then there's the Director of Technology, and I realize now that I kind of displayed this in a confusing way, but they aren't formatted in a hierarchical level. The Director of Technology oversees all of these 4 positions, not top down. So the Director of Technology oversees the instructional technician, the central operations, the PC support, and the network tech. Then there's the Director of Communications and School Safety, which has a communications specialist position. The executive assistants, this would be the office staff and the office professionals that take care of the educational center board office work. Then there's the Director of Special Services, which has the Manhattan Job Corps and all of their teachers, paras, and office staff. the Early Learning Center principals and coordinators and directors, and then the coordinator of infant and toddler services. Lastly, we have the executive director of teaching and learning. They manage quite a few positions. There's the director of both the secondary and elementary education positions. There's library and media, everyone that works in the libraries in the buildings. I see now that this is kind of confusing, but the director of library and instructional media services, they manage all three of those positions, the office staff, the media clerks, and the library media specialists, not in a top-down format. There's office staff for the executive director of teaching and learning. Manhattan has a large virtual academy, virtual school, so the director of that and the principals are managed here. Grants, district testing, the STEM programs. There's quite a few summer STEM programs in the district, as well as in the school year in each building. And that pretty much concludes the structure. I have my references here, and if you have any questions, just send me a message on Google Community. Thank you.